Namanda, 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 namanda. Happy New Year! I can say it. In Japanese, we can do the long way, Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Kotoshi mo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Or we can do the super short way, Ake yoro. It used to be Ake omo koto yoro, right? But now you can just go Ake yoro and just get it all in there, kind of like Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us for our New Year's service. Welcome to Buddhist Church of Oakland and 2025. Let's begin with Sutra chanting, and today let's chant Sanbutsuge. Sanbutsuge is in the small purple book somewhere and in the big purple book somewhere, because I don't have that piece of paper. Did you find them? This is we chanting the words of the Buddha. And so Sanbutsuge is on page 22 in the small purple book, 22. And the big purple book is 79. So 22 in the small, 79 in the big. Namanda, 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 namanda. Kogen-gi-gi Ijin Mugok Nyozen-myo Muyo Tosha Nichigatsumani Shuko-en-yo Kai shitsu onpei yunyaku jumok nyorai yogen chosen murin shogaku daion koru jippo Kaimon Shojin Sanmai Chie Itoku Muryo Shushoke Jintai Zennen Shobutsu Hokkai Gujin Jin no Kugo Gaitai Mumyo Yokunu Seson Yomu Nino Shishi Jin Toku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shindo Daisen Ganga Sabuts Zai Shoho Kado Shoji Mifugedatsu Fusejo I Kainin Shojin nyo ze sanmai chi e ijo go sei tokubutsu Fugyo shigan isai kuku isadayam keshi ubutsu yakusen okuman muryo daisho shunyo goja kunyo isai shito shobutsu funyo gudo Kansho fukyak hinyo goja Shobutsu sekai bufu kake mushu setsudo komyo shisho henshi shokok nyoze shojin ijin nanyo ryoga sabutsu kokudo daiichi goshu kimyo dojo chozetsu kokunyo nayom nimuto so gato aimin dodatsu isai jippo raisho shinetsu shoujo ito ga kok keraku anno kobutsu shinmyo ze ga shinsho hotsugan no hi riki shoyoku Jippo sesom chiemuge joryo shisom chiga shingyo keryo shinshi shoku dokuchu gagyo shojin ninju fuke namandabu Ganni shikudoku byodo seisai dohoten bodaishin ojo Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 namanda. Okay, next, let's rise and recite the three treasures, and it's on page 3 in the small purple book. Give me a second. Okay. The three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. 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 Okay, thank you. You may be seated. So once again, Happy New Year. Thank you very much for joining us for our New Year's Day service. And so I'm going to suggest something, a kind of way to think about things. And it's a way to think about things maybe here on this New Year's Day, but maybe also all the time. Positive, negative, neutral. Okay? Positive, negative, neutral. And so I'm going to try, I'm going to go out of order. I'm going to go backwards, I think. Let's start with neutral. Right? And I think one way we can think about today, it's kind of just like any other day. It's a holiday, right? Well, but not for everybody. It's not a holiday like when I was a kid. Nothing was open when I was a kid, right, on New Year's Day. Now I'm sure we can go out. We could probably go to Target. We can go to a restaurant, right? So for a lot of people, it's actually not a holiday. But, you know, it's just another day. There's nothing, the only reason it's special is because we've adopted the solar calendar at some point. Right? New Year's, we're actually going to do another one in a month or two, right? Lunar New Year. And that's what many, many cultures did for centuries and centuries, if not millennia, was they celebrated a New Year based on the lunar calendar, right? But for cultures that do it on the solar calendar, this is basically the New Year's Day, right? And so if we kind of think in that way, you know, maybe this should be done on the solstice. Right? I mentioned last night the solstice, the time when the longest night and the shortest day, right? And this time when we go and we've kind of passed that point, and now the days are getting longer. So wouldn't that kind of make sense for New Year's Day? How about Christmas? Let's do it on Christmas, right? Well, for whatever reason, January 1st, right? This solar calendar day we decide is New Year's Day, and so, okay. So to me, it's kind of arbitrary in a way. There's another aspect of New Year's, I think, where we want to kind of say, okay, let's move on from the past, right? We can look at the past, but let's go into the future with new resolve, right? And we can have resolutions. And so, you know, that's one special aspect of New Year's Day, but we can kind of do that all the time, right? That there's all kinds of times throughout the year maybe when we can look at ourselves and decide, I want to make a change, right? Does it have to be today, right? I think a lot of times we think, okay, New Year's Day, I'm going to make resolutions. 2 weeks later, you forget, and then go on until a year, and then make resolutions again, right? And so in that sense, too, maybe I'm kind of thinking, but this is a different way, when we can take this special feeling of New Year's Day, but find it anytime, right? Find this special time to look at myself and maybe decide, I want to make a change, right? Any day of the year. So that's the neutral. Right? Let's do negative next, okay? I don't want to dwell on it, but acknowledge, right? I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning, well rested. I wanted to sleep more, but I was like, I'm awake. I'll sit on the couch, my cat sit in my lap, turn on the news, see this horrible tragedy in New Orleans, right? 10 people dead, right? This morning. 4 people already dead in Oakland since midnight, right? A friend of mine, not a close friend, but someone who I've known for, 25 years, my age, 54, died within the past 24 hours, I believe, right? And so we can find, that despite the fact that it's supposed to be this special day, we still find suffering and sadness. And so for me, this morning, and then sitting on the couch, because the cat is in my lap, I'm just kind of sitting there, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I got to start getting ready for church. Okay, 8:30, 8:45, get in the shower. It was really kind of hard to get motivated, to get up and going, to come, because sometimes just the reality of the sadness that we face. Right? And I think that's okay to feel this sadness. Right? Let's go positive. Okay, and I was kind of thinking, I felt like last night I didn't give enough of a positive message, maybe. That's just my kind of recollection of what I spoke about, the talk that I gave. And that, to me, is a really important part of Buddhism. Actually, Buddhism, I think, has all 3 of these views. Neutral view. Don't get excited. Don't get upset. Just see things as they are. Negative view. There's suffering in the world. Anger, greed, ignorance, these are poisons that cause myself to suffer and cause others to suffer, right? And we can try and see that. But then also, positive view. It doesn't have to be that way, right? And that, with Buddha's teachings, we find this message of optimism, this message of realism, where we can try and see things as they are, but also try to make positive changes, both in myself and in the world around me. And so in that sense, with a positive view, wow, New Year's Day, we made it to another year. This is really special, right? This is a precious opportunity to look at myself, to see myself, view my relationships, and also maybe try to set some changes in motion. One of the best parts of being a minister and being at service is I get to see all of you, right? I don't just sit on the couch by myself with the news and droning away, right? No, I get to be out with other people. I think that's really important, right? To be amongst other people, to see people smiling, to be able to say, Happy New Year, right? That's, I think, really, really special. Right? In a way, it's kind of, okay, then, that's what we're here for, that's what we do, would be maybe the neutral view or even a kind of pessimistic view. But no, let's take this optimistic view. Wow, I get to see you, right? Maybe you're back from college, maybe you're in Dharma school and I haven't seen you since Mochitsuki, which was already 3 weeks ago, right? And wow, another chance to get to see Dharma school kids and their parents, right? Or just temple members, or maybe new people. I got to meet some new people this morning, right? I got to meet a new dog. I actually didn't meet him, but got to see him. I got to hear, we have a Charlie the dog. He likes to, I heard him already this morning, he likes to howl when the sirens go. He hears the siren, and he goes to the door, and then he flips his head back, oh, and his ears flop back, and then his ears flop down, and he goes, oh, right? And when Reverend Endo was ringing the Kansho, I hear this sound. It's Charlie. He's outside. Oh! Even the Kansho makes him howl, right? Happy New Year, right? This wonderful opportunity to get to be with other people. right? And I think that that's part of this positive view of Buddhism, right? Is that rather than complain, rather than judge, rather than take things for granted, I just wrote down, wow, how special is this moment? How special is this gathering? How special is this life of mine? Right? To be able to be with other people, all these opportunities that I've been given, to be able to be with wonderful people and go out for the rest of the day and the rest of the year, right? Energized, I hope, right? Listening to the Dharma. And so, in resolutions I was kind of thinking about too. So maybe we can think about resolutions in this way, huh? I'm going to go negative, neutral, positive this time. Okay? Negative one is fail. Right? I was watching the news today and they were saying, studies show that 50% of Americans make New Year's resolutions and 80% of them give up in 2 weeks by the second Friday of the new year. It's like, okay, right? And so I have a cartoon that I'll share it with people online. You'll have to just imagine. One of my favorite comics is Mutts, by, I think his name is Patrick McDonnell. And he's this amazing cartoonist. It's kind of like Peanuts in a way, and it's about Mooch the cat and Earl the dog, but there are other characters. One of the other characters is named Sourpuss, okay, and he's kind of a big cat, and he sits on his front doorstep, and he hates Mondays, and he basically just complains, right? And so this year the picture is Sourpuss, and it says New Year's resolutions, and he's looking at his resolutions, and New Year's resolution 1, try to be kind, okay? And so then the next picture, Earl, the dog, walks by, and so Sourpuss says, have a nice day. And Earl says, oh, thanks. Okay? And then the third one, okay, I can cross that one off. Right? So try to be kind, and he does it, and then, okay, I'm done. That's not how resolutions are supposed to work, right? Resolution would be try to be kind all year. Right? So that kind of idea, right, of setting ourselves up for failure, right? Basically, we can take this kind of negative view. How about a neutral way to think of resolutions? For me, it's that it's not special anymore. It just becomes kind of normal, right? So that there are times, I think, when we can identify something, I want to change this. And we have to always be thinking, oh, I got to change. That can be hard, right? Because it's hard to remember, it's hard to keep it in mind. But there's times, I think, when for whatever reason, it becomes normal. So I think that's good. That means that the resolution has kind of taken hold. And again, the special one, wow, right? Maybe in 6 months we realize, wow, things have really changed. I've really been able to make this change in my life. Buddhism's interesting. In one sense, it says change is possible. Karma is not fate, right? That there's nothing, we're not absolutely bound. There's no fate, no predestination. Things aren't already written out, that we're just following on some kind of cosmic script. And yet, there are these habits. Karma is very habitual energy, right? And it's been set up, at least during my lifetime, if not previous lifetimes even, if we want to go back that far. So if we accept that, they can be really ingrained, right? And so that habit energy, it's these habits that we just keep falling into. Right? And yet, Buddha says, change is possible. Actually, everything is changing all the time. Change is part of life, right? That's impermanence. Right? And maybe we can realize that. Wow, oh my gosh, yeah. Right? As much as I have these habits and this habit energy, maybe I can have an awareness of that. Right? Maybe it's not something that just magically happens. I made the resolution and it changed. It's not that easy, right? And so to be able to see, maybe when we fail, it's okay if I realize it. It's okay if I realize, oh, I wanted to make this change, right? And I can see, it hasn't happened yet. But that's the reminder. Oh yeah, but I still want that to be, right? So that any of these, a failure can actually, it seems like a negative, but can actually be a positive, right? That's a huge part of Buddhism too. Don't get stuck in my view. Don't get stuck just kind of always viewing things the same or being like, this is negative, therefore it's always negative. Buddhism says, view it in a certain way, positive, negative, or neutral, and be aware of it. Right? And then maybe when I have that awareness, then I can see, oh yeah, why am I always negative about that? Or why am I always neutral about it, taking it for granted? Right? And so I think that the Nembutsu, that's basically the one thing I can think of for kind of a message for me for this year that I've been actually talking about for a few months now. Say the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Say the Nembutsu. I can phrase it as a question. Are you saying the Nembutsu? And Nembutsu is Namo Mitofo, Namo Ida Fa, right? That this is this expression, Buddhist expression. It's not just Japanese, it's Mahayana Buddhism. Namo Mitofo is Chinese, Namo Ida Fa Vietnamese, Namo Amida Butsu Japanese. I take refuge in Amida Buddha, English. Right? Or take refuge in Amida Buddha, English. Right? And this practice of Namo Amida Butsu, saying the Nembutsu, right? And that I'm saying, just say it, but here's maybe one way to think about it. I'm going through something in life, Namo Amida Butsu. Oh yeah, am I viewing this in a positive way, in a negative way, or in a neutral way? Right? Chase the ninju. Say Namo Amida Butsu each time you pick it up though, okay? So saying the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, as part of the core of our Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, right? And maybe we do incorporate it in my life. Or maybe I realize, oh, I'm viewing this in a negative way. There's another way to see it. Namo Amida Butsu. Right? Maybe Nembutsu comes first. Maybe the awareness comes first. Right? But we can not use Namo Amida Butsu, but we can find Namo Amida Butsu in our lives. Okay? So thank you very much for joining us for our New Year's service, New Year's Dharma Talk. Let's conclude that with Kansho. Positive, negative, neutral, 3 ways to view the world, 3 chances for awareness at this time of New Year's. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, and so before we conclude the service, just a few announcements. We're online at BuddhistChurchOfOakland.org. If you want to go on there, and you can make donations there as well, or we have the trays up here. We have our services on Sunday, 10 a.m. Just for the next couple weeks, this coming Sunday, we're going to have our Dharma family service and Shotsuki, January Shotsuki monthly memorial. That'll be at 10 o'clock. There's no Dharma school coming this coming Sunday, so we'll just have the one service at 10. And then on January 12th, 10 a.m., we're going to have Ho-Onko, which is one of the big services of the year for us in Jodo Shinshu, Shinran Shonin's memorial service. And we have a special guest speaker, and she's an author. She's written this book called Mixed Rice. And so we'll be sending out information on that. She'll be our guest speaker and then give a talk about her book. And then we will have an Otoki luncheon for that service as well. And then we'll be having our regular Sunday services after that through the month of May into the month of July. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Any other announcements? Keep an eye on the emails. Dharma Forward, we're coming up. Oh, we have a National Council meeting too, so in February. Actually, February is going to be we got a lot going on. We're interesting stuff about the Naijin, and also National Council meeting. We're going to have our town hall. What else? Oh, yeah. We have calendars downstairs, BCA calendars. I was asked last night by one of the Dharma School kids, and I thought they were kidding. So she said, what does BCA stand for? And I said, Barbecue Chicken Association, right? But it stands for Buddhist Churches of America, our parent organization, right, with all of our sister temples. She didn't think it was funny, but... those are downstairs, and so you feel free to take one. Please take one per family so that other people can have, and you can leave a donation if you wish. I think that's about it. So again, just keep an eye on the Bushin and our emails, and we'll be giving you information on all the stuff coming up. I can't say it's going to be a good year, but let's face this new year, 2025, with the Nembutsu, with the Dharma, the light of the Dharma, and with this lens, being aware of when we have positive, negative, neutral, but I think leaning into positive. Okay, so let's conclude our service with Kansho one more time. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda. Okay, thank you. You can come up and offer incense if you haven't had a chance already, and I think there's still some refreshments downstairs to enjoy. Thank you.